Here on the channel, we've always loved a good over-the-top action game, especially when it features insanely cool finishing moves, crazy combos, and just overall fun combat. Well, this new game has just released and it's from the makers of Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive, so when 110 Industries asked to sponsor us and give you guys the classic RX Gaming rundown, you know we had to check it out. Also, the game was already looking really appealing to us anyway with its cyberpunk aesthetic and crazy moves, so thank you to 110 Industries. When it comes to combat and gameplay though, are you the kind of player that loves to go all in melee, or do you prefer to take a step back and shoot from a distance? Personally, I like a good mix of both, but when a game has awesome looking finishing moves, they're just too cool to pass up on, so melee is my go-to for this one. But what do you prefer in your slasher shooter games? Tell me down below. And if you enjoy these videos, you can show support by clicking like and subscribing so you don't miss out on the next one. So firstly, let's jump into it with a recap of what exactly Wanted Dead is. If you've ever wanted to jump into a retro 90s-esque cyberpunk world while playing as an elite police officer but with a katana, then this is one you need on your radar. Essentially, it's a fast-paced mix of intense hack-and-slash gameplay with over 50 brutal and awesome finishing moves, as well as it being a third-person shooter. The game oozes nostalgia from the PS3 era and gives you exactly what you would expect from the Ninja Gaiden team. It's a hardcore experience and an old-school way to beat up enemies in style. Within the game, you'll be part of the Zombie Unit. This is an elite Hong Kong police squad on an important mission to uncover a huge corporate conspiracy. You're going to play as Lieutenant Hannah Stone, a badass and hardened Hong Kong cop. As you set out to learn the truth, you're going to take on mercenaries, gang members, and private military contractors in a gritty retro cyberpunk world. To take out these enemies though, you're going to need weapons. This is where you'll make use of your trusty katana, which has a wide range of deadly moves, as well as a curated selection of ranged weapons that will be at your disposal. But you will also have a whole skill tree of new and powerful moves and buffs to unlock as you progress. This leads us to the next thing that you need to know about in more detail, the combat and gameplay. When it comes to fighting, this is where Wanted Dead excels. It's quite hardcore and punishing, but that's what makes it so rewarding. Even though you're going to be slashing your way through waves of various enemies from soldiers to assassins, you can expect death to be around every corner. The smallest mistake could easily mean defeat, but if you master your combos and weapons, you're going to feel like a true badass. You can't expect to just spam your way through the game. You're going to need to learn the timings of your guards, counterattacks, evades, dodge rolls, and attacks. You'll be outnumbered most of the time, but with the right approach you can make mincemeat of even the harder enemies. You're not alone, however. You will have a squad that's watching your back of up to 3 NPC companions. These are also part of the Zombie Unit. Furthermore, you can actually upgrade them later on through the skill tree that will make them more effective at aiding you on a mission, and we'll go over that in some more detail later. Within the game, you will have a melee attack and a medium ranged attack with your handgun. These will form your fundamental combos, but the timing and input order are quite important. A great early game combo to take advantage of is the handgun attack, followed up by a melee attack for a powerful wide double slash that deals great damage to enemies in front of you. Outside of this, you'll want to get used to dodging and guarding. Dodging is a great way to close the gap between you and an enemy, but also for evading attacks. Later on, it can be further upgraded into a dodge roll that makes you move even further and just overall improves it. Guarding will also allow you to block attacks, but guarding at the last second will give you an opening for a counter attack. These are super powerful but harder to land, but definitely try and go for them. When it comes to your range weapons though, make sure to keep cover in mind. Enemies will take every chance they get to shoot at you, so whittling down some of the enemies with your assault rifle or weapon of choice first, while in the safety of cover, is a great way to start the fight. Do remember that you'll start each level and checkpoint with 3 med stim packs. These are your go-to way to heal mid-combat, so if you're in a pinch, make sure to use these before it's too late. Be on the lookout as well, because when you deal enough damage to enemies, they will become sort of staggered and start flashing. This is your opening to do a finishing strike, and these have some of the coolest takedown animations, and there's over 50 varieties, so go for every finishing strike that you can. And if this isn't enough, there are even more combos and abilities at your disposal that you'll get by unlocking them in the skill tree. And this brings us to the next thing that you want to know about, the skill tree and customization. As you beat enemies and get further in the game, this will grant you skill points. You'll need these to unlock your way through the skill tree and get those awesome and powerful upgrades. There are 3 sections to go in, and they depend on your playstyle and preference, from offense to defense and utility. Offense features awesome additions to your combos like charge attacks, dash attacks, additional attacks to your combo strings, and even straight up buffs that increase your damage. The defense tree enhances your survivability, giving you perks like guard strength, more stim packs, the ability to parry unblockable attacks, and even straight up more damage resistance. The utility tree isn't one to miss out on either. It will grant you access to powerful grenades, reload buffs, and even upgrades your NPC squad so that they will help you out more in missions. We recommend dipping into each tree However, taking the extended dodge and grenade early on is a massive bonus to have and one that you want to definitely get as soon as possible. So maybe think twice before going all in on the offense tree. Keep in mind though, even when you're fully upgraded, things still won't be easy, but these perks and upgrades will sure help you out. In addition to this, you can actually customize your handgun and rifle with all kinds of different attachments and skins to make them look visually different, but also mix up their stats. So depending on your playstyle, you'll want to tinker with these and see what works for you. Now if you're wondering where you can play the game, well, it's available on PlayStation 4 and 5, Xbox One and Series X and S, and also on PC. So wherever you want to play, you can jump on. There's a standard version of the game available, so you can jump right into the action, but also a collector's edition, which features a really nice looking steelbook, the game's OST with 20 tracks on it, a hardcover art book, the zombie unit magnet, as well as a set of 3 postcards. So if you love your extra goodies and steelbooks, this one might be for you. So what do you like about challenging games? What's one memory that you're not going to forget? Tell us down below in the comments. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to click like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one. And the 2 videos on screen now, we think you'll really enjoy if you did enjoy this one. Of course, you don't have to if you don't want to, but if you found this video helpful or interesting, you're probably going to like these ones too. And then tell us what you think after watching in the comments down below.